and then they still leave the place a mess. They still have homeless people everywhere. It's still a disaster. It's still a woke shit show of virtue signaling at every level of the government. Still. Like, no course correction at all. They're going further and further into la-la land. And you're like, Jesus Christ, you guys. And so then a place like Austin becomes attractive.
Let me tell you what the real problem, I didn't realize it till I fucking left.
What?
That everybody's too busy tapping themselves on the back.
There's a lot of that.
When the fires happened, those 3 women or whatever,
Yeah.
the chief and whatever, I'm looking at them and I'm like, look at them.
Yeah.
They all got gel in their hair. They all got a tattoo on their neck. God forbid they can't be cool for just 1 fucking minute. God forbid. And that's the problem you have.
Imagine living in a place that was once the ultimate dream, the land everyone wanted to be in. A place filled with sunshine, beaches, Hollywood, opportunity, and innovation. That place was California. But fast forward to today, and things look completely different. The streets are covered in trash, homeless encampments are everywhere, crime is so bad that people are organizing smash and grab robberies like field trips, and politicians seem more focused on praising themselves than solving real problems. It's not just sad, it's embarrassing. And Joe Rogan, whether you like him or not, isn't letting Gavin Newsom escape the blame. Here's where it gets interesting. Rogan straight up says California has become a total disaster. He's not holding back or sugarcoating it. He calls it what it is, a woke circus of empty virtue signaling that's driving people away in huge numbers. Think about it. If California is supposed to be a shining example of progress, then why are people, families, and even big corporations rushing to Texas, Florida, or Nevada the moment they can? You don't leave paradise unless paradise has turned into a nightmare.
Whenever that happens, it's easy for another place to rise up that offers something more interesting. So like Los Angeles was always Los Angeles. And like when Gavin Newsom talks about California, it's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. California has all this industry. Hey, fucko, they're all thinking about moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. If it was like every business could instantly pull up roots and replace everything and have everything.
Let's break this down. What's the biggest problem? For starters, it's crime. California's crime rates have gotten so out of control that people barely react anymore when they see videos of mobs smashing into a Nordstrom, a Walgreens, or even a gas station. It's just become normal. That's the new California lifestyle, living in fear, avoiding downtown areas, and hoping your car doesn't get broken into again this month. And who's paying the price? Regular, hardworking people, the small business owners who lock up their shops every night, not knowing if they'll be looted by morning. The parents who have to explain to their kids why the park is full of needles instead of laughter. And then there are the taxes. Don't even get me started. California is one of the most heavily taxed states in the country. You'd think with all that money coming in, the streets would be clean, the schools excellent, and the infrastructure solid. But no, it's potholes, broken systems, and a government that somehow manages to make things worse year after year. It's like they take your money just to burn it in Sacramento. Meanwhile, businesses get buried under red tape and endless regulations until they finally give up and say, we're out.
It's too expensive. It's too expensive to leave versus what you would save and the regulations that you wouldn't have to go through and all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. What California does is over-regulate everything. They get as much government involved as possible. They suck as much tax.
Joe Rogan saw the warning signs early. He packed up, left California, moved to Austin, and never looked back. And here's the kicker, he's not the only one. Ben Shapiro and the entire Daily Wire team are gone. Countless Hollywood producers are gone. Even the entertainment industry, the one thing California was always expected to keep, is starting to fall apart. Filmmakers are choosing Georgia, Texas, and even overseas locations instead of California. Why? Because those places actually want their business. They offer tax breaks, keep crime under control, and don't bury people in endless bureaucracy. When Hollywood itself starts leaving Hollywood, you know something is seriously broken.
They still have homeless people everywhere. It's still a disaster. It's still a woke shit show of virtue signaling at every level of the government. Still. Like no course correction at all. They're going further and further into La La Land. And you're like, Jesus Christ, you guys. And so then a place like Austin becomes
But California doesn't care. Instead of changing course, they just double down more regulations, more virtue signaling, and more strange laws nobody asked for. Remember when they decided that department stores with over 500 employees had to create gender-neutral toy sections? Because apparently, that was the big crisis to solve while the state was literally on fire. And let's not forget the law that allows kids to hide their decision to transition from their parents. Because what families really need is to be cut out of life-changing decisions for their own children, right? That's not compassion, that's madness. And this is where Austin becomes an interesting comparison. Rogan points out something important. Austin is liberal, sure, but not California-style liberal. It's not the suffocating, top-down, you must conform or else kind of liberalism. It's more balanced. Austin is a blue city surrounded by a red state, and that balance creates a middle ground, a culture that's progressive but still grounded in reality. Keep Austin weird, sure, but also keep Austin functional. You don't see Austin politicians pushing laws that alienate families or crush businesses. Instead, the city is thriving. Tech companies are moving in, creators are moving in, and culture is booming. It's proof that you can have progressive values without turning your state into a circus.
And people are very reasonable. And Austin, the best thing about Austin is it's a blue city in a red state. So it's like balanced. Like this is a saying they have out here, keep Austin weird and surrounded. So Austin is surrounded by rednecks with guns. And like it keeps the tone more medium. Like the Austin liberals, they're much more just left of center people, like we are.
You know what I mean? Meanwhile, California just can't stop patting itself on the back. That's one of Rogan's biggest points. The leaders there care more about their image than actual results. Fires break out, homes are burning, and what do politicians like Gavin Newsom or LA's Karen Bass do? They hold press conferences. They show up polished, hair perfectly styled, with rehearsed talking points, and act like that's leadership. But it's not. Real leadership isn't about looking good on camera, it's about protecting the people you serve. And Joey Diaz, who never holds back, completely tore into them for it. He said it plain and simple, these so-called leaders care more about photo ops than saving lives. And honestly, he's right.
I didn't realize it till I fucking left.
What?
That everybody's too busy tapping themselves on the back.
There's a lot of that.
When the fires happened, those three women or whatever
Yeah.
the chief and whatever, I'm looking at them and I'm like, look at them.
Yeah.
They all got gel in their hair. They all got a tattoo on their neck. God forbid they can't be cool for just 1 fucking minute. God forbid. And that's the problem.
Here's the deeper issue, and this one really hits hard. California has built a culture of untouchable, protected groups. You can't question certain policies or criticize certain ideas, because the moment you do, you're labeled homophobic, transphobic, racist, take your pick. And what happens next? Everyone just pretends. They pretend everything is fine, pretend every decision is smart, and pretend that being inclusive automatically means being
My idea, and it's great, and it's going to work. It's not working.
You're right,
But you're too stupid to I say, you know what, this ain't working. Their egos are so big, they don't have the heart to go, this ain't working.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But I don't think it's entirely their fault. It is their fault, but the culture rewards that kind of behavior. This is the problem with having protected classes of people, whether it's gay, lesbian, whatever it is, whether it's your nationality. If you have a protected class of people where you're not allowed to criticize the protected class of people, then they become, Vivek Ramaswamy talked about this in a very interesting way. He's like, it's the tyranny of the underprivileged, or is that what he called it? The tyranny of...
And that's how you end up with firefighters who can't carry victims out of burning buildings. Let's be real for a second. Firefighting isn't a symbolic job. It's not about appearances or checking boxes. It's about life and death. If you can't run upstairs in full gear or carry an unconscious adult out of a burning house, then you simply can't do the job. Period. That's not discrimination. That's reality. Yet the standards keep getting lowered so politicians can brag about diversity numbers instead of focusing on real effectiveness.
Is that this group of people, whether they're trans people or gay people, they get above everything. Everything you do is amazing. Oh my God, you're so fabulous. Because no one wants to be thought of as homophobic or transphobic. So you pretend that everything they do is incredible. And so you're going to be the best firefighter ever. Like, can you carry a burning man out of a building? Girl, you don't have to. If he was in that building, he shouldn't have been in that building in the first place. If I have to carry him out, we got other problems. That a literal firefighter said that in response to, could she carry her husband out of...
And that's how you end up with firefighters who can't carry victims out of burning buildings. Let's be real for a second. Firefighting isn't a symbolic job. It's not about appearances or checking boxes. It's about life and death. If you can't run upstairs in full gear or carry an unconscious adult out of a burning house, then you simply can't do the job. Period. That's not discrimination. That's reality. Yet the standards keep getting lowered so politicians can brag about diversity numbers instead of focusing on real effectiveness.
Fighter, if you can't carry someone out of a building, if you can't run up a flight of stairs because you're 260 pounds and 5'7" and a woman, no, you shouldn't be a firefighter. You should have to be in like really good shape to be. Now, if you're some CrossFit's game lady who's some beast, I'm like, yeah, that lady could be a firefighter.
Yeah, and yet here we are. California's leadership keeps playing dangerous games while the people keep paying the price. Homelessness is exploding, businesses are leaving, crime is out of control, industries are collapsing, families are fleeing, and what does Gavin Newsom do? He smiles for the cameras and daydreams about running for president. It's delusional. If you can't manage your own state, why should anyone trust you to manage the entire country? At this point, California isn't just a warning sign, it's a full-blown cautionary tale. It shows what happens when ideology replaces common sense, when dependency is rewarded instead of responsibility, and when appearances matter more than results. And if other states aren't careful, they'll follow the same path straight into the same disaster.
And guys, like if you're a guy and you're scrawny and you never work out and all you do is smoke cigarettes, maybe you shouldn't be a firefighter. You know, maybe you can't get up that flight of stairs either. It should be like, it's a physical job where you're rescuing people. You have to be able to physically carry people. You have to rescue them. Firefighters, when I was a kid, were the big, brutal men.
Beast. Kicking down doors.
Houses. They looked like former football players. There was this guy I used to play pool with, Ray the Fireman, because everybody in the pool hall, I was Joe the Comedian. Everybody had a nickname based on what you did. Ray the Fireman was a house. He was just this big Irish guy.
So here's the takeaway. America doesn't need more Newsoms. We don't need more politicians obsessed with appearances while their cities fall apart. We don't need more woke experiments that put ideology above safety, competence, and results. What we need are leaders chosen for their merit, vision, and strength, not their ability to virtue signal. We need professionals, not political pawns. And what we absolutely can't afford is to let California's failures become the national standard. That's why Rogan's rant matters. It's not just about California, it's about the bigger picture, about what kind of country we want to be. Do we want a nation where problems get solved, hard work gets rewarded, and competence matters? Or do we want one that looks perfect on paper but crumbles in reality? Because right now, California is showing us exactly what happens when you choose the second option. So, let me ask you, do you think Gavin Newsom has any real chance of becoming president after the mess he's made in California? Or will voters finally wake up and say, no thanks, we've seen enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who still believes California is the land of dreams. Because at this point, the only dreams left in California